everybody, this is Chad from Stick's blog. I'm Stick, and today I want to talk to you about a new piece of hammock gear. This is actually quite literally hammock gear. It's an underquilt, which is hammock gear, and it's made by a company called Hammock Gear. Many of you that are involved with hammocks are more than likely aware of the internet site hammockgear.com. It's run by Adam and Jenny Hurst. Adam goes by the name Stormcrow, and I believe Jenny goes by Thorin, something like that. I'm sorry, I apologize if I didn't get that right, and I'm pretty sure I didn't. But anyway, they sell a lot of underquilts and top quilts, and I think they have like a pillow and a couple of do-it-yourself items and stuff that they sell on their website. But a lot of people really rave about their top quilts and underquilts. So when I realized how much I liked using a hammock, and I realized that if I wanted to continue using a hammock once the temperatures kind of got cooler, that I would need to get some kind of insulation for underneath me. And to be quite honest with you, I tried a pad, and I didn't really like wrestling with it using a single layer hammock. So I decided that I wanted to get a underquilt. Now I was kind of hesitant to pull the trigger on an underquilt for a while, just simply because I didn't really want to spend the money at the time. But a couple of weeks ago, Adam and Jenny made it an option on the Hammock Gear website to use Cuben fiber as the inner portion of the underquilts. And as soon as they did that, that was like what did it for me. It turned the key. I was like, okay, I'm going to place an order. So I decided to place an order for a 20° Fahrenheit Phoenix underquilt. And then the extra options that I got was I did opt to get the Cuben fiber inner layer, which was an extra $30. And I also added 1 extra ounce of down. The outer layer of this underquilt is made out of 1.1 ounce ripstop, nylon ripstop, and that's what the stuff sack here is made out of. They have a couple of different colors, I believe, that you can choose from. I chose black just because I like the color black. Now, just a few things about this. Whenever I ordered it, it came with the stuff sack that it's in. It came with a shock cord and 2 carabiners, which makes up the suspension system. This uses the channel suspension system, which basically the shock cord is run through both the long sides. There's channels sewn all around it. It runs through both the long sides, and it's got the 2 carabiners on each end. You just basically attach the carabiners to the head and the foot end of your hammock, and the underquilt's pulled up underneath you. As well, it has 2 cords that you can pull on either end of the short side, and what that does is it kind of hugs, it makes the short side of the underquilt hug the head and the foot end of the quilt to keep drafts from coming out. And here in just a minute, I'm going to weigh it, and I'm going to take it out and fluff it up a little bit, and I'm also going to measure it. But I'll kind of point those things out as far as the different channels and what they're for whenever I lay it out and show it to you. As well, I want to go ahead and put it on my hammock, just kind of give you an idea of what it looks like, and then I'm going to lay in my hammock, just kind of show you how much of me it covers while I'm laying in the hammock. Now, I will say right here that I'm not an expert at hanging these. This is the first experience that I've had with an underquilt, so I'm not going to try and tell you how to hang your underquilt. I'm just going to put it up on my hammock and just kind of go with it from there. One other thing I wanted to show you as far as size, I measured this while it's stuffed, and I get approximately 11 inches tall and 6.5 inches wide. This way, I didn't measure it this way, but it's probably about 8 to 9 inches wide this way. And this is a 1 liter Nalgene, so you can see the size difference. This is just a little bit bigger than a 1 liter Nalgene. And like I said, this is a 20° Fahrenheit underquilt. One other thing, it comes stock with 8 ounces of 900 down fill. And like I said, I did opt to get the 1 extra ounce, so this should have about 9 ounces of down. Here in just a minute, when I weigh it, just keep in mind that I'm weighing the entire system, which is going to be the underquilt, the stuff sack, and the suspension system as well. So give me just a second. Let me get out of this thing without falling or flipping out of it, and I'll put it on my scale and weigh it, and then I'll take it out and kind of show you around. So hang on a second. Okay, so right here, basically I just have my scale. I've got it zeroed out. And like I said, just keep in mind this is the suspension system, the stuff sack, and the underquilt that I'm going to weigh here. So there's everything, comes in at 17.6 ounces. And like I also have said, just keep in mind also that that's including 1 extra ounce of down. So give me just a second. I'm going to take this thing out. I'm going to lay it on the ground, and I'm going to measure it and just show you around the underquilt. So give me a second. Hang on. I've got it all laid out here. I gave it just a couple of minutes to let it poof up since I've had it in the stuff sack. I will say one other thing about the stuff sack. Like I said, the weight just a while ago was 17.6 ounces. The stuff sack alone, I weighed it, and it weighs 0.5 ounces alone. So the underquilt with the suspension weighs 17.1 ounces. Just wanted to kind of throw that in there. But anyway, as you can see, I said I got the Cuben fiber on the inner. And when I say inner, that means this is the part that goes up against the bottom of the hammock. And this is the outer. I'll just show you here. This is the outer. This is the 1.1 ounce ripstop, nylon ripstop. And this is the part that will be facing towards the ground. So anyway, going back to the important side here for the moment. Like I said, I'm wanting to say that the Cuben fiber, I'm wanting to say that Adam told me the Cuben fiber that he uses, the weight on it is 0.61 ounces per square yard. I can't say exactly that's for sure what he said. I'm just wanting to say that's what I think he told me, but I can't remember for sure. But anyway, that's the weight on that. So anyway, like I said, that he's got channels sewn all around the edges of it. These are the two long sides, meaning that I lay vertically this way, so these sides will wrap up around me. And these are the short sides, so this is where the head or the foot end will be. There's not a specific head or foot end on this, so it doesn't really matter which way you hang it, as long as you do hang this towards the underneath of you. All four of the corners, he's got this gross skein sewn around it, and it's what makes up the channels. Here is the shock cord that he uses as the suspension. And the cool thing about this shock cord is that it allows the hammock, once you attach the underquilt to your hammock using these S-beaners here, you can actually adjust the hammock up and down. You can just slide it along this cord using the channels to get the hammock wherever it is, or the underquilt wherever it is that you need it. So that's the cool thing about that. Also, like I said, he's got these on the ends where you can pull these here, and what this does is, like I said, it makes this part, the head or foot part, kind of cradle the hammock so that no drafts can sneak in. And one thing I want to point out about this is I like that he's got one pull or one cord lock on each side. That way I don't have one continuous, then I've got a whole bunch of cord hanging out. Also, I think that with the way that he used it, with being able to pull it from either side, I think that that cradles the hammock better also than just using one on one side. But anyway, so real quick, what I want to do is I just want to lay a tape measure down and just show you what kind of dimensions I get. So give me just a second and I'll get that done. Okay, so first I want to give a measurement wide ways. I will say that the ends seem to be just a little bit shorter than the middle. Seems like the middle kind of bellows out just a little bit. So what I've done is I've just kind of laid it down, fluffed it up a little bit, and I've just kind of pulled gently on the edges to stretch it out. So I've got the end of the tape right on the edge of the gross skein on that side, and then I come over here, and not sure how well that you can see that, but I get about 38.5, somewhere right around there. So it's about 38.5 inches wide is what I get. Now give me just a second and I'll put it on there and measure it long ways. Hang on. Okay, so again, I just kind of pulled on it gently on both ends, just kind of flatten it out just a little bit. And you can see I've got the tape on the edge of the gross skein here. And once I go here, if you can make that out, it's at about 49.5 inches on this end. So my dimensions that I get are basically 38.5 wide by 49 inches long. The reason that I wanted to point that out is I'm not picking on Adam, or I'm not picking on the website, and I've actually called Adam and spoke with him about it, but the dimensions on the website are slightly larger than the dimensions that I have measured here. I talked with Adam, and I believe that the final outcome was not really sure why it's shorter than what the measurements on the website says. But I will say that Adam, he was real cool about it. He talked with me, and he did offer to tell me that if for some reason it doesn't work out because of the size of it, he's more than happy to have me send it back, and he's more than happy to make another one that's just a little bit wider and send it back to me. So I just wanted to kind of throw that in there. Otherwise, as far as the quilt itself, I'm really happy with it. I think it's really nice. There is one other little small detail I want to point out, and I didn't really realize this until I hung up the phone with Adam the other day after it came in. The stitching on this thing is really well. He catches the very edge of the gross grain. I mean, it's so uniform, it's perfect almost. But there is one little spot where it looks like, right there, if you can see that, it looks like it's just one little spot where the stitching just kind of went below the gross gain. I believe I could just, if I decide to keep it, I'm probably just going to take some black suture or some black stitching, and I'll just kind of hem that up just a little bit. The only worry I would have about it is if it decided to keep pulling off either way. But that's the only flaw in the actual construction of the underquilt. Otherwise, I mean, this thing really is, it's really pretty. But anyway, so what I want to do real quick is I want to throw it up on the hammock and just kind of show you how it fits on my hammock and what and how it fits with me laying in the hammock. So give me just a second and I'll get that done. Hang on. Okay, so real quick now, I just want to kind of show you how easy it is to hang up on the hammock as well as what it looks like with me laying in it. Now, like I said, hanging it up simple. Just use the two S-spinner clips to connect them to my whoopies, which is my suspension system for my hammock on each side, and then just adjust the head and the foot in using these bungee cords or the shock cords and the cord locks. Another thing also, like I said, just make sure I have the black side, which this is just on my specific model, the black side facing towards the ground and the Cuben up towards my bottom. And then that's it. Now, I'm not going to try and tell somebody how to hang the underquilt because I'm still new to underquilts in general. So I'm just putting mine up, and this is how it works for me. I might have to toy with it and see what works for me. One thing I would like to add about the channel suspension, one reason that I like it is because it's so easy to adjust even while I'm in my hammock. This underquilt will just slide along the two suspension channels so that I can move it wherever I want to get it fixed up underneath me while I'm laying in it. The last thing I want to do before I hop in is just kind of cinch up the head and foot area just a little bit. Like I say, I'm just cinching these up so that it'll kind of hug the head and foot area so that no drafts will sneak in. And then now that that's done, the only thing I have to do is to get in it. And I like these shock cords because it allows me to pull the hammock down or the underquilt down while I'm getting in the hammock. Alright, and that's pretty much it. Now, what I will, I'll pull that up a little bit, get it up to where it's up near my shoulders. You can see here's my feet. That's where it stops. That's where it stops on my head area. And that's it. So anyway, this is just my first look at the 20° Fahrenheit Phoenix underquilt made by Hammock Gear. If you have any comments or questions, just post them at the bottom of the screen there. I'll do my best to answer them. Or if you'd like, just get in touch with Jenny or Adam Hurst directly at hammockgear.com, and they'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Until then, I appreciate you for watching. I'll see you next time.